The second launch of our coaching program is officially over. We closed it off with $9,000. So that, together with a brand partnership that we closed this month, it is officially our first $10,000 month.
One time for the hometown, I got love for it, it's real. Yeah. 2 times for the haters, man, cause I notice how this shit feel. 3 times for my family, dog, cause this shit done paid our bills.
Welcome to episode 6 of Road to 1 Million. If you're new here, we're Brian and Alessio, and we have an Instagram page and a business online called Create Content Club, in which we help people grow their own personal brand and build their own social media presence online through the power of content. Why are we making this series? We're documenting our journey from where we are now towards our first $1 million with our business. And in this process, we're going to share with you all the lessons we learned along the process so you can actually apply to your own journey and, fast forward this process and learn something from this. So if you haven't seen the last episode, what you need to know is that we went full focus on actually the content side of things, and we were able to gain huge results, meaning that we got like 80,000 followers in less than 30 days. So right now, our Instagram page, Create Content Club, is sitting at around 260,000 followers. So crazy growth from last time. And right now, literally this week, we are doing our second launch of our coaching program. So what we're gonna do is basically take 10 people, right? So 10 people from our audience, and we're gonna help them grow 10,000 followers in the next 90 days. And we are guaranteeing that results, because if we don't do it in 90 days, we're gonna keep working with them for free until we reach that results. So this is actually our second launch. In the first launch, we opened up 5 spots and we filled up 3. And yeah, right now we're doing the second launch of this. So doing things a little bit bigger, and we're actually taking 10 more people into this coaching program. So the revenue is the same as last time, so around $40,000. But after this week, hopefully it's gonna increase, because we're gonna keep you updated with the launch and how the second round of coaching goes. And yeah, we'll keep you updated.
Good morning, guys. So I just wanted to keep you updated on how the launch is going. We just started, of course. It was the first day that we were promoting this offer that we have and that we just opened up again. And at the current time, we just had 1 call yesterday, and we have 12 booked calls. Overall, we built out a waitlist of about 2,000 people for this launch, and we started with those. So we sent out emails and started promoting first to them. Now, yesterday in the evening, we actually promoted it publicly, so we also shared it on our social medias, and from there we booked a bunch of other calls. So yeah, overall we just have a bunch of calls today, I think about 5. So we'll just see how that goes and keep you updated.
Alright guys, just finished with the morning work. Just a quick update. We just closed the first coaching client. It was actually a really interesting call. Usually they last between like 20 to 40 minutes, but this one ended up being like more than 1 hour long, and it was kind of tough to close this client, but at the same time I feel like it helped me a lot, being able to practice and do a lot of objection handling in this case. So yeah, in business, guys, sometimes I feel like, we were talking about this earlier, and I want to share this with you. This was a client that we really think we can help, but at the same time he was a little bit skeptical about the entire process and was not really sure if it was worth investing into us. And I feel like from an external point of view, because we were talking about this, it's not a client that is really easy to close, in a sense that it's probably gonna cause a lot of it's probably gonna require a lot of your attention and effort to make this work. But as we were saying earlier, like as everything in business when you're starting out, I feel like also when picking clients and choosing who to work with, especially at the beginning, you need to be able to put yourself out of your comfort zone in order to be able to sign those first clients. And once you get those clients' results, that's when you can start to afford picking the perfect clients for you. So especially at the beginning, if you're at the beginning of your journey and you have no proof that what you can do work, sign that free client, sign that difficult client, get them results, and from there you'll be able to get the better clients, and just at the end you're going to be able to work with the people that you only want to work with. But if you never start and if you wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect client that will fall from the sky and he will be ready to jump on you and just work with you, you're never going to be able to reach that point if you don't start from the bottom. So in everything you're doing with business, start with what you have and build from there. Morning work done. Alessio edited pretty much for the entire morning, and he's editing the episode 5 of Road to 1 Million right now. So we're just gonna have a quick lunch, and in the afternoon we have 2 more sales calls, so we'll keep you in the loop for that, because I hope at least we can close another one today, another client, and we're gonna see later how it goes.
Good morning, guys. So we closed off yesterday signing 2 clients. So again, it sounds weird to say, but it was our biggest day ever actually, because that was 3K, so $3,000 US. You can even see it. I don't know actually how much you can see it, but here it's like 2,700 euros, which yeah, it's roughly that in terms of dollars. So yeah, we're pretty happy with that. And since if you haven't seen the last episode, go check it out, because we explain how we grew so much on Instagram lately. And since we reached that many people, we were able to book out like all the calls that we could possibly book, and so that's also why we decided to so as for now, Brian was taking all the calls and I was focused still on the editing of the content. But what we will do from now is we just activated an option to allow overbooking, so that we can even take 2 calls at the same time, so that we can actually book even more calls and make sure that we sold out. Because at this point the issue that we have is not any more traffic, it's just making sure that the leads are as qualified as possible. And since we don't have a setter right now, we just have to take the calls and see it from there as much as we can, try and analyze the applications that people submit. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll just edit probably still in the morning, and then we'll just pretty much keep on taking sales call and keep you updated on that.
And this is just to understand if you're a certain things. When it comes to like, you told me a little bit about you having also an agency.
Alright, good morning guys. So I'm talking to you from downstairs since Brian is taking a call upstairs. And yesterday we ended up closing another client. We didn't do as good as we wanted to, so some of the calls were not as great as we wanted them to go, but you know, all experience. So it's just the second launch that we're doing, and every single time we're learning something, and just practice makes perfect, you know. And this is just something that also I wanted to add to this, because especially if you're just starting out, I think most of the time you overestimate how much of the fancy stuff you need to do, when the real experts, the people who are actually professionals, like the difference between the professional and the amateur is that they just do a lot of the basics over and over again, and by doing that they often understand the small nuances of every single step of the process, okay, and the fundamentals again. So for example, in sales there might be a bunch of things that you have to take into account, but most of the times a sales call is just really simple. Like the structure of it is really simple, and there's nothing crazy going on. There's no secret technique. It's just once you practice it, you start understanding more and more, okay, this is how I handle objection, this is how I leverage silences, for example. That's a big one that we are learning more and more. For example, when you need to just shut up and listen to the other person, how much the dialogue in sales often comes from the prospect and not from yourself. And for example, in sales you often have this idea that you're trying to convince someone of something, when it's the complete opposite. Like most of the time you just really have to listen to the other person, understand what kind of problem they have, repeat it back to them, make them understand that you understand them and that you can actually solve that problem, and that does the job. And again, it's just practicing the basics over and over again is what really makes the professional, is what really makes the expert, because again, it makes you understand the small nuances that are involved in that art, for example, sales, but it's the same thing with content, for example. So yeah, for today, we'll just take on calls again. So that's pretty much how this week is going to go. It will be that, editing as usual, and Brian is also leaving this week. So then I will be the one taking the last few calls tomorrow, which is the last day that we have the coaching program open. And then we will just close enrollments, and from there it will just be managing these new clients that we get on board. Alright guys, so we didn't get to film that much today actually, because we were like super busy with the calls and everything. I just finished the last call, there's still a bunch of editing to do and things of that sort, but overall we closed another client, so that's good. Again, like we are realizing, of course, again, it's like the second launch that we're doing, so we are slowly realizing the mistakes that we're making. And that's just, again, how it goes. It's experience. You have to practice things and just learn through mistakes. So the calls could have went better, but again, like they went still pretty good. But the thing is, like, I'm super excited because I wanted to share this experience as well. One of the calls, for example, turned out not to be a good fit for the coaching program, but because it was someone like super advanced already in business, like someone doing e-commerce, and it ended up turning into a networking opportunity because this person, for example, was like you're really good at content, but I see, for example, that you're missing a little bit of the business part, and I have much more experience with the business side of things and less with content. Let's just like connect. And first of all, I have to say, like, meeting someone that's such high level, we're talking about people that are making, you know, like multiple six figures a month. It's like you can immediately understand and feel the energy of this kind of people. Like you can immediately see how they think in a completely different way. Like they are on completely different planes and a completely different plane of reality. And that makes you understand also why your results are not there yet, why you're not making six figures a month or those kind of numbers, because it's like, I'm not at that level yet. I do realize it. When I see people like this, I can feel their energy, and I do realize like everything has its time. I'm not there yet. It takes time, it takes practice, it takes experience. And again, like an awesome opportunity, I think, that we created right there. So now we are trying to stay in touch with this person. But in general, like I'm super excited because even though the calls didn't go as expected, one of our like really big goals and really big things that we want to focus on going on is also the networking part. So to us, it's incredibly important to develop that aspect as well. And again, great experience, still knocking out more calls. Brian actually left. He will be in Greece for the next week, so I will be handling pretty much these clients, and I will be taking the calls for tomorrow, which will be the last day of the launch, so we'll document that as well, and we'll just let you know. And yeah, for now, I'll just finish the last few tasks and then wrap up the day.
Guys, as you can see, I'm back, and the second launch of our coaching program is officially over. We closed it off with $9,000. So that, together with a brand partnership that we closed this month, it is officially our first $10,000 month. So we're super stoked for that. It's crazy to see how, even though we have such big goals, it's crazy to see that this business has started less than a year ago and we are already hitting this huge milestone. So truly grateful for that, and also truly grateful that you're following our journey along with us. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, because as you're probably seeing, we're starting to post more and more long-form videos here, and we'll see you in the next one.